What's up, you guys? So today was bag change day. For those of you who don't know, I have an ostomy bag, so I have like an intestine sticking out of my abdomen. So if things like seeing intestines sticking out, but there's a bag over it. If that creeps you out, don't watch the next few seconds of this clip, but I'm gonna show you what my bag looks like when it's like a fresh change. This is like the cleanest it will look in like the next 24 hours. It will start to like, even though I've rinsed the bag out, it starts to get all yellow, and just due to the food that's running through it, since the bag is like a white color. So here it is. That is my intestine sticking out. It's called a stoma. Got a brand new bag, so it's nice and white. Some liquid's already coming out, some yellow liquid. But there's like blue stuff in there because I put these drops. It's blue and it makes it so the bag doesn't stink when I change it out. The weird thing is what comes out of the bag does not stink to me. It doesn't smell like poop. It just smells like half digested food. Well, that kind of sounds gross too, but yeah, it doesn't smell like poop because I don't have a colon. It's literally food that went through my stomach, some small intestines, skips the colon because I don't have one, and then comes out like this. So it's not so bad. I don't know where any of my stringers are, and I just keep washing this one. And it's a good thing that I'm Asian, no BO, and I don't sweat since literally all I've been doing is eating and lifting. Eating and lifting. Because I have my next surgery scheduled in a couple weeks, and this one's gonna be pretty much the same pain level as the last one. The last one, I was like nearly emaciated when I got it, and then so I hadn't been able. Okay, story time. Going to tell you a little bit about what happened to me and why I disappeared. So, first of all, I went away somewhere, a third world country. I got a couple things there from possibly either food contamination or just the locals over there. Things from the third world country that people in the US, most of us probably cannot tolerate. For the healthy individual, my doctor said that the parasite that I got and the virus that I got, if I was a healthy person, it would have just passed through my body, and most likely I wouldn't have known I had them, or I would have got sick and then got treated and been fine. But instead, since I have a compromised immune system because I have ulcerative colitis, so the weakest part of my body is my colon, it attacked my colon, and I was going 20 to 25 times a day, and it wasn't just poop, it was mostly blood. And then at a certain point, my gastroenterologist had to do an intervention. He's just like, we need to hospitalize you. We need to admit you now because nothing is working. He put me on prednisone, and it's a high dosage steroid. Didn't work. So, got admitted to the hospital. Once at the hospital, they didn't know at the time what I had. They just was treating me for my ulcerative colitis. And then they asked me, have I traveled? Outside the U.S. In the last blah, blah, blah days? I was like, yes, I did. This is where I went. And then they took stool samples and then finally figured out what the dealio was. So they started treating me for the virus and the parasite. And then was hoping they could save my colon, but it was beyond repair. My colon was like falling apart because they did a colonoscopy where they pump air through your booty hole, and then stick a probe up there to see what's going on. And not only did I wake up in the middle of the procedure with a million people in the room and it was like terrible pain, it just felt like I had to take a big, poop, and I couldn't control it. But I was empty, but it was just painful. And they got me back to sleep, but they said when they were up there, they saw that the colon was just really, really in bad shape. So they got a surgeon to start. I mean, he'd already been talking to me about the possibility of my future, that they probably need to take the colon out, preparing me mentally for that, and then stick the lowest part of my small intestine, through my abdomen on my ileum, so I had ileostomy. And I was just like, oh, okay. I was just so out of it. I was drugged up. Like, they had an IV on me like 24 hours a day. And each time, I don't even know what they were giving me at a certain point, because, I mean, they tell me, but I couldn't keep track because I was on so many medications, so many changeovers with nurses, and I was there for a whole month. So after a while, I was just like, okay. Like, it was the nurse's job to tell you, hey, I'm putting this medication on right now. And I'm like, okay. But I couldn't even keep track of what they were giving me anymore. And even, like, all those IV fluids, they pump up your body. So I was, like, emaciated, but I look fat because of all the liquid being pumped into you. My feet were swollen. Everything was just swollen. My brother visited me, and he had to, like, massage my feet to make sure they're not swelling up. It was terrible. My feet were so fat. Like, my legs were so fat. Everything was so, like, just watered. It was just squishy and just full of liquid because of all the IV they're just constantly pumping into my body. But anyway, long story short, the surgeon's like, it was still my choice if I wanted to get the surgery, but it was either I wait till my colon ruptured and then I'm in big trouble and get all that poisoning in my body and then they have to do a quick emergency surgery, or we plan for it now and just remove the colon while I still have a chance to where, the colon won't rupture. So, chose to have the surgery because after a certain point I was sick of being at the hospital and I just wanted to leave, and it was just so terrible just laying there all day every day. Like, I don't know how people are hospitalized forever for more than a month. Like, I could not mentally take it from being active and going around and driving and making videos and working out and working all the time to absolutely nothing. It was the most depressing moment of my life. And I took the surgery. It went well. And when I woke up, it was the most pain I've ever been in my life. My friends and family think it was more painful because I was already, like, sick and been suffering for weeks before then, and my body was at a weak point, and I'm hoping that's what it was, because if this next surgery is supposed to be, like, the same pain level as the first one, and right now I've gained weight and I'm healthy, and I'm viral-free, parasite-free, and my body's in 100% right now. So I'm hoping it's not going to be as painful, because the last surgery was so painful that I was, like, begging for morphine. Like, it was terrible. I woke up in so much pain. Like, I thought I was not me. I thought I was not me at that time. I thought this was me 10 years later, and I got hit by a truck. That's how painful it was. So I was so confused mentally. When there was, like, a stranger over me when I was waking up. It was just a dude whose job was to watch me, make sure I woke up fine. And even I asked him, did I get hit by a truck? And he's just like, no, you got out of your surgery for blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you serious? Because this is so painful. I was almost, like, crying. I couldn't sleep. And they ended up hooking up a morphine to my IV with a button. So boop, I pressed it and they injected me with morphine. So I was constantly like, but they timed it out, so it's every 15 minutes. I would wait 15 minutes, boop, wait 15 minutes. It was so painful. Basically felt like someone like hit me with a truck right here. But yeah, next surgery soon. Creating a J pouch. Basically a fake colon, but not really as effective as a colon because it will not absorb liquid. So my stool won't be like a normal person's stool, which is, you know, hard and smells like shit. Mine will be like it is now going into the pouch. Like, smells like half digested food, and it's like a pasty consistency. Yeah. All I can describe it to be when it's even like as thick as it can be, it's like toothpaste, like that consistency. But it can also be liquidy. So I heard good and bad reviews about the J pouch. Some people it works out fine. Some people it's like, oh, it was just like when I had Crohn's or when I had ulcerative colitis and I had the worst flare up of my life. And then they get it reversed and get the stoma back. So I'm hoping it's successful. And if it's not, I really don't mind living with an ostomy bag for the rest of my life. It's not that bad. Like, at first, it's terrible. It's like a life change. But when you've been on the toilet for most of the day and you're afraid to leave the house out of fear that you're gonna shit yourself, yeah, this is not so bad. Like, I had 6 blood transfusions at the hospital because that's how much blood was coming out, and like, because my colon's attached to every other part of my body, so if that loses blood, my entire body loses blood. So yeah, it was not fun. So having a bag isn't so bad for those of you who have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's and maybe one day facing my predicament. It's not bad. It's like great because there's no pain. I have to blow my nose. You know what, this might just be the vlog of the day of what happened to me. So, living with this bag, I have a little cover over it, you like it? Is not so bad. You have no pain in the stoma area, which is the intestine sticking out. It doesn't have any nerves. Can't feel anything. The hardest thing about it is that you have a bag on you, and but you find ways around it. What I'm saying is, like, if you're in public and the bag starts filling up and you don't have a belt, there's belts you can get to make sure the weight isn't pulling on you. It's not painful, but it's annoying to feel a bag. It's like literally stuck to you with adhesive, and if it's filling up with stool, it starts to pull on your skin, like kind of weighing you down. It's just annoying. That's annoying. Sleeping with it is kind of annoying because I'm just OCD. I don't want to blow out, which is when the bag explodes out of being too full of stool or air gas. So I'll wake up and I'll feel the bag, and then if it seems full, I'll go to the toilet, empty it, and clean it out. Just because I'm afraid of getting a blowout. I've never gotten one, knock on wood. But I'm just OCD, so I keep checking the bag in the middle of the night. That's annoying. You gotta change it out some people push it to 5 days, but no thanks. I don't want to do that because it starts to smell, and the adhesive seal around the stoma starts to wear down. So I like to change it every 3 and push it, if I'm pushing it, to 4 days. But 3 days is good for me. Another hard part is making sure the seal around the stoma is 100%. Because if you don't get a good seal around it, your stomach acid or whatever can burn your skin. And if that happens, your skin starts to get a little red. It starts to lose a layer of, skin. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, it looks like you burn your skin. So that's hard, but you just get better at it. You get more technique, get better at the technique of putting on there's all kinds of products you can put around the stoma to make sure the seal's good. That's what ostomy nurses are for. They're here to teach you. So, yeah, not bad at all. Like, if the J pouch don't work out and I how to have a bag for the rest of my life, at least I'll know I won't have pain anymore. And I won't have to be hospitalized in the future. And it creates freedom. You could either let the bag handicap you and be like, I have a bag, I can't do anything anymore. Or you could let it just be a bag that's on you and move on and get strong and lift weights and, do all those things. Because I know a lot of people with the bag who are like, my doctor said I can't lift. My doctor said I can't do this and I can't do that. So they end up cutting themselves short. With me, I just slowly started lifting and my strength slowly started coming up and I was determined to lift again. And even my surgeon said that it's fine as long as I do it within reason and don't hurt myself. So I'm not letting the bag get in the way of who I was before the surgery. And yeah, still drinking Monsters. So that is the story of what happened to me.